Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And this is another unfortunate story where the Denver police SWAT team raided a 78-year-old black woman's house, and they were not supposed to, and she was awarded almost $4 million for an inappropriate raid. So let's go. Jury awards $3.76 million to Denver woman over SWAT raid of her Montbello home. Juries found Denver police did not have legal justification for the search of Ruby Johnson's home in 2022. A Denver jury recently awarded $3.76 million to a 78-year-old Montbello woman after finding Denver police violated her rights when they surrounded her home, ordered her outside with a bullhorn, and then searched her house. Denver Police Detective Gary Staub and his supervisor, Sergeant Gregory Bushy, did not have legal justification for the search at Ruby Johnson's home in January 2022. The jury found after a week-long trial in Denver District Court. The jurors awarded Johnson $1.26 million in compensatory damages and $2.5 million in punitive damages, according to a jury verdict form filed Monday. Denver police officers dressed in military-style SWAT gear descended on Johnson's home on January 4th, 2022, to serve the search warrant. Standing on her lawn next to an armored tactical vehicle, the officers ordered Johnson out of her home. She emerged in a bathrobe, and officers put her in the back of a police car, where she waited for hours while they searched her home. This is a 78-year-old woman. The officers were looking for a stolen cell phone that was believed to be inside a stolen truck, along with several guns. The owner of the stolen trunk told police he'd use Apple's Find My iPhone app, and that the app showed the missing iPhone twice pinged near the intersection where Johnson lived on January 3rd, 2022. Staub used those pings to obtain a search warrant for Johnson's house. The search warrant was approved by the Denver District Attorney's Office and signed by Judge Beth Faragher. As the officers conducted a knock and announce warrant at Johnson's home, she said they smashed the door to her garage with a battering ram, broke apart a ceiling panel, and damaged a collectible doll, and left the house in shambles. The officers found nothing. They didn't find a thing. Johnson had nothing to do with the stolen goods, the American Civil Liberties Union of Colorado said in a news release. Johnson and the ACLU of Colorado sued in late 2022, alleging the officers didn't have enough evidence for the search warrant and used excessive force during the raid. Staub never conducted an independent investigation into the truck owner's claims about the phone pings before filing the request for a search warrant, the lawsuit read. And the phone pings offer only an approximate location, not an exact one, the ACLU alleged. The raid left Johnson fearful to be home alone, she said in a lawsuit. She moved out of her home, where she lived for 4 decades after the incident. Not only was her privacy violated and invaluable possessions destroyed, but her sense of safety in her own home was ripped away, forcing her to move from the place where she had set her roots and built community in for 40 years. Deborah Richardson, executive director of the ACLU of Colorado, said in a statement. Denver police declined to comment on the jury verdict on Monday. In a statement when the lawsuit was filed, Department of Public Safety officials apologized to Johnson for any negative impacts the raid may have had on her. Attorneys for Staub and a spokesperson for the Denver City Attorney's Office did not return requests for comment. The city will now have to pay $3.76 million in damages, though the two sued officers could be faced to pay up to $25,000 if the city approves in a separate lawsuit that they acted in bad faith, said Erica Tinsley, spokeswoman for the ACLU of Colorado. But this is the other caveat. Look at what has been happening in Denver with the police force since 2017. Denver has spent $39.5 million to resolve legal claims since 2017, and nearly 90% of those dollars were paid for claims involving the Denver Police Department or Denver Sheriff's Office. What in the world is happening with the Denver police? Just when you try to become an advocate for not defunding the police, we're seeing an innumerable amount of stories where the police keep dropping the ball on crossing the lines of legality. And unfortunately, you're seeing this in a high preponderance against citizens, tax-paying citizens of color. It is repeating itself over and over and over again. And at some point, it becomes nauseating to a certain degree. This woman is almost 80 years old. And for them to have battering rams, tank trucks, an entire SWAT team, I'm surprised it did not give her a heart attack and kill her just from the stress and anxiety of the situation. And they used an approximate ping from an Apple iPhone app that does not give you a specific location. It gives you an approximate location, and they get a search warrant and decide to guesstimate where this stolen phone and this stolen car and guns were. And they went to a 78-year-old woman's home, and then commits to breaking down her door, having her come out in her robe, placing her in the back of a police car. Now just think about this with all my listeners. That could be your mother, your grandmother, somebody of significance to you, to have that kind of embarrassment and drama with her neighbors watching, and them not knowing that she probably has never committed a crime. And now you have an entire SWAT team at a woman's house that's 78 years old, that's somebody's grandmother, is appalling. It is a rush to judgment. It is a narcissistic ideology that sometimes the police departments in America have castigated on innocent victims. Denver has enough problems. There's a migrant issue that's going on that's decimating Denver, and trying to figure out what to do with these migrants. And you have a corruptible police department in the state of Colorado. You had a DNA lab analysis that has gotten in major trouble, where they're going to have to go back and look at almost 3,000 cases because she was fudging and forging DNA results. The state of Colorado and Denver in particular have a lot of things that are going on that are a tipping point on that city either doing the right thing and going into a positive direction, or doing the wrong thing. There's a homeless issue. There's a migrant crisis. You have a police force that is making rush decisions on innocent citizens that it castigates a negative image and reality and spell on the Denver police. We need to have a relationship for us to have a healthy public safety community, with a healthy relationship with the citizens and the patrons of America, along with the police force. There should be a duality, a positive duality, and not this separation and this rush to judgment with our citizens.